Greetings and welcome to the 16th episode of Retro Rant. And in this episode, we will be returning to the point and click genre with a classic title, Zack McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders, released in 1988 by Lucasfilm, later known as LucasArts, for the Commodore 64 and later ported to DOS, Amiga, and Atari ST. There is also a Japanese FM Towns version with 256 colors, but here I will be reviewing the Amiga version, since this is the one I had back in the day, although I wasn't a fan of it back then, to put it mildly. So let's see if age and wisdom will help me see and appreciate the fine qualities of this early Lucasfilm game. In this game, aliens are trying to take over Earth by using a machine that makes Earthlings stupid. You control Zack, a tabloid reporter, and later on other characters as well, on his quest to foil their plans and save mankind. The graphics of this game are, I guess, decent for a 1988 adventure game, even though, as I mentioned in my Thimbleweed Park review, I'm not a fan of this particular art style. The animation is awful, as was the norm for late 80s adventure games. The locations and the objects are well defined though, so the graphics do not hinder the enjoyment of this game. The music is quite sparse, and most of Zack McKracken is played in silence, which ruins any mood or atmosphere. There are some jingles every now and then which are again decent, but nothing to write home about. The sound effects of this game range from barely bearable to outright annoying. The worst part of the game is the control system, which has aged as well as MySpace. Granted, this is Lucasfilm's third adventure game and the second to use Ron Gilbert's excellent SCUM interface, but it had yet to reach maturity in this point in time, and it feels like an ugly insect, even though it will later become a butterfly. You cannot look at objects, nor can you talk to people. The inventory shows only a few of the items you carry, and you get to carry a ton of items in this game, so be prepared for some nice carpal tunnel syndrome just from the continuous scrolling until you find the item you need. You have to use the annoying "what is" command just to find the hotspots in the screen. And contrary to the mature Scum games, you first have to find, then click the hotspot, and then select the command you want. A clunky design choice definitely affected by the aliens machine. The ability to control multiple characters was very interesting, but with the millions of objects you carry and have to share with the other heroes and the awful controls, the multiple character mechanic feels only confusing. At least you can skip cutscenes with the right mouse button. But sometimes you end up skipping parts of the game that require your participation, for example in the airplane. The tedious copy protection gets in the way as well. On the positive side, the game's storyline is quite good, if a bit cliché. I found the humor to be excellent, full of tongue-in-cheek references to conspiracy theories and the pop culture of the time. But the game is a mess as far as direction and focus is concerned. Most of the time, you just don't know what you should be doing next, and more importantly, where. You see, this game has lots of airports to travel to, and some places are only accessible through specific airports. Of course, that would be perfectly fine if you just had a direction, but most of the time you're left to figure things out for yourself. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing, but in this game it is, because there is a ton of backtracking involved and there is a diabolical money mechanic that makes it very possible that you will reach a dead end, unable to travel because you are broke and cannot afford the ticket. Furthermore, each character has a separate amount of money, and several puzzles need a specific character to be solved. So you have to keep track of 4 cash cards, and this game feels and plays more like an accounting and logistics management simulator than an adventure game. Another thing that makes this game a dog is the presence of a number of mazes. Yes, not just one or two, which are one or two respectively more than what a game should have. At least the puzzles are okay when you can actually get to them. Overall, would I recommend this game? Nah. It's a below average title that makes Sam and Max look like a monumental game. It's one of Lucasfilm's worst. Give it a go only for historical reasons. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.